In today's video, we're gonna be talking about how good American Airlines Platinum status is. This is probably the sort of higher end of the status that most normal people can get to, right? Because you got gold, platinum, and then after that, the point categories start getting pretty high. So yeah, we're gonna be answering that question. 75,000 loyalty points, kind of doable actually. We're gonna be talking about that as well. But let's see, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth anything at all? I don't know, let's get into it. All right, so like I said, you got gold status, pretty easy to get to, 40,000 loyalty points. You can do that on a couple just like hacks with credit cards and e-shopping, not that hard to do. Platinum status, which is what we're looking at today, is 75,000 loyalty points. Platinum Pro, which is actually a lot better, is 125,000. If you're aiming for one, I would aim for Platinum Pro, but again, 75 is a lot easier to hit than 125 because that's where you start having to really hit some credit card spend to make that happen. And then of course, Executive Platinum's a lot more, right? It's more than, it's sort of these two put together, right? So this is what we're gonna be looking at today, seeing how good it is. Okay, so let's just talk about really what the meat and potatoes is. What you're trying to do, basically, if you're at this level and not at that level. At this level, you're probably already flying first if you're hitting that, so it doesn't really matter. At this level, you're basically just trying to see what your upgrade window is, if you can get free upgrades, and sort of what other little bonuses you get. That's kind of what you're targeting for value here. So you do get, right, and this is pretty common on most airline, a 48-hour upgrade window on your second status. In American Airlines, it actually is pretty available, I found. I found it's not been too bad. It depends, of course, on when you're flying and when it is. But I've seen, when I was a gold member, I've been upgraded, right? So this is doable, right? It's not gonna be an every time thing, right? I'm a Delta Diamond member, that's an every time thing. I pretty much have never not gotten upgraded to first class. That's not what you'd get with the AAdvantage Platinum. You're looking at, let's say, I don't know, 1 in 4 flights, maybe, something like that, depending on when you fly. A really underutilized benefit is 60% more miles on eligible flights. If you're someone that gets most of their miles from flights, this is really helpful. Really, really helpful. If you get 60% more miles and loyalty points, so it makes it easier to hit the next tier. This makes a huge difference. If you hit AAdvantage Platinum status just cold, from just being a member in a year, then you're pretty much able to hit this the year after. So this is actually a noticeable benefit that a lot of people don't realize. Complimentary preferred seating and main cabin extra seating is also one that I think is underutilized. If you're flying a lot of those like regional economy flights, preferred seats in main cabin extra like makes a difference. And that's the sort of thing that like, especially if you're doing a lot of little connections that, you get off the plane faster, everything like that. So I think that saving, I think basically paying for preferred seating and main cabin extra seating is worth it. So if you're getting it for free, you're at least getting the value of that. And that can really add up depending on how many of those little hopper flights you take, because these are worth, these can cost anywhere between 29 and I've seen it as high as like I don't know, 170 or something like that. So you're getting a lot of value. 2 free check bags, again, it's fine. Plus priority handling. Priority handling I haven't noticed as much on American working as Delta. Delta I've noticed like often if you have priority, like as a Delta Diamond member, like I said, you do actually get your bags out first, and that is a big difference. By the way, if you want to know how I get a Delta Diamond, there's a video about that as well. At the time, I wasn't a Delta Diamond member, but I ended up getting it. Yeah, so again, pretty much that's what you're looking at in terms of benefits. You have, your Group 3 boarding, which I don't value that highly because it doesn't really matter. You get priority check-in and priority security, which priority security in my experience doesn't really mean anything. There's very, very few airports, although your mileage may vary. Standby priority, again, most people aren't really using that much standby. It's fine. One World Sapphire status, again, doesn't really help that much unless you're doing a lot of like international flights, not on American Airlines, which you'd probably just book through American Airlines anyway on a code share. So often that doesn't really help. This is actually an underrated benefit too, the AAdvantage Platinum status service desk. It actually is a lot faster. I've called before as a member and it's taken like an hour and a half to get through sometimes. This does really, really speed it up. It's a bit like if you call, I don't know if any of your President Circle members, but I am just through my Amex Plat. But if you call up like the Hertz President Circle line, you get through like that most of the time. If you call up the normal line, it is a wait. So it's a bit like that. And again, a mileage may vary kind of thing, but really helpful if you need it. This is nothing, and please don't buy an Admirals Club membership. Just get a credit card with it, please. But yeah, that's basically what it is. So how much would you really value American Airlines AAdvantage Platinum status at? It's kind of difficult to say. I think this is one of those kind of in-between statuses. I'm not putting that much value on it. It depends on how many of those little regional hopper fares you take, because those are really where you're going to be able to upgrade to those premium cabins, because often those are not sold And also often because they're so small, like you're not gonna maybe not necessarily find an executive platinum or platinum pro guy on there. So if you're flying like New York to LA, I don't think your mileage is that much. I don't think it's that useful. But if you're flying like, I don't know, Raleigh Durham to Austin, yeah, that very well might work out for you. Or I don't know, like Raleigh Durham to Montgomery or whatever, right? So something like that, that'll work out more for you. So I think, again, this is a really mileage may vary one. I think for some people, this can be worth in the like $1,000 in the low thousands. I think for most people, though, it's not gonna be that. In terms of hitting it, the way I would hit it is I'd use the AAdvantage e-shopping portal, which I could put a link down below. That's something if you haven't checked out, you really should. And the dining program is the same thing too. Those like little tricks can make a big difference, but I wouldn't go hugely out of my way. Those are things that can help and they're free, and you just add your credit card like to the dining portal, and then if you just happen to go to one of those restaurants, it gives you like miles and points. But I wouldn't go out of my way to, eat there specifically or anything like that. So it is a nice status. I've enjoyed that status, but nothing crazy.